Oh, good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our fourth webinar as part of the Widening Impact Spring 2025 webinar series. The Solar Hub co-coordinator, George, will be the moderator, and so I will pass this over to George, and thank you in advance for attending.
Okay, hi, this is George. I hope you can hear me. Good morning from me also. So I will start with a few words and then I will pass the floor to Marco, the project coordinator of INNO2MARE. So my name is George Karagiannakis and I'm a research director in the Chemical Process and Energy Resources Institute of CERT, the Center for Research and Technology, Hellas. As mentioned by Derek, I will be the moderator for today's webinar. This webinar is in the framework of a series of running Excellence Hub projects. This is an idea originally conceived by Derek, by Professor Derek Baker. Thank you so much for that initiative, Derek, by the way, and has been immediately, let's say, supported by most running Excellence Hub projects. This is an initiative that provides an excellent platform for collaborations within and beyond the scope of the individual running projects, and of course promotes a kind of a strengthening unity approach by supporting, say, the formation of a relevant community, which we hope to achieve. A few words about the project now. INNO2MARE is about strengthening the capacity for excellence of Slovenian and Croatian innovation ecosystems to support the green, digital, and smart technologies and solutions for the maritime sector. The project, of course, receives funding under the Horizon WIDERA call, as all running Excellence Hub projects do. And we will first hear the presentation by project coordination, Dr. Marko Simic, and during this presentation, we will have the opportunity to see, let's say, the main aspects, ambition, vision, current achievements, perhaps lessons learned so far. And after that, we will have the opportunity to engage ourselves in an open discussion. Participants of today's webinar are stakeholders from the sector, from the green and digital transition community, and of course other Excellence Hub projects. And thus, I expect that this discussion will be quite fruitful and vivid. But okay, enough said from my end. Without further ado, I would like to give now the floor to the project coordinator, Dr. Marko Simic, who will present INNO2MARE and will more or less set the basis for the following discussion. So Marco, I think the floor is yours. Thank you so much. We're eager to hear you.
Thank you very much for this kind of introduction, George. And I hope I will today present my story well and highlight main things about INNO2MARE. So INNO2MARE is Excellence Hub project. It involves 3 innovation ecosystems: Western Slovenia, Adriatic Croatia, and Flemish Belgium partners. And we involved 19 partners to cover all the, let's say, proposed activities within these projects. And the main thing is, what is our motivation? So motivation is divided into 2 parts. Mainly on the European maritime industry, as well as national strategies and national maritime, let's say, ecosystems. We noticed that we also integrate, or let's say, involve some policy frameworks from the European Union, such as, for example, Green Deal, Digital Compass, resilience and recovery strategies. And we would like to strengthen these strategies in the EU and, of course, in the national level in Slovenia and Croatia. So that's why we are expecting that we will have better results in our maritime industry after these projects. So basically, we are three innovation ecosystem, as I said, and Croatia and Slovenia are neighbors among European smaller countries, which you see here in the pictures, and we are near the Adriatic Sea. So basic characteristic of Western Slovenia is focused on the digitalization, on any kind of manufacturing processes, systems, logistics, as well as smart cities. This is our core business, actually, in the research and innovation. While the Adriatic Croatia is also a research and innovation innovator, but is more focused on the maritime sector and the engineering solutions integrated and implemented in the maritime sector. So combining those two areas, I think will help a lot as an ecosystem, as well as we invited Flemish-Belgium partners here to represent really a reference of high technology based innovation ecosystem that can help in different relations to our ecosystems. One is in the research and innovation project, planning, guidelines, how to implement good practices, and how to support, let's say, ecosystem in terms of good practices with the government, with the strategic roadmaps, with internationalization, exchanging different knowledge, and of course, I think this was the main reason also to be so successful in this project proposal. So really to upgrade both Western Slovenia and Adriatic Croatia ecosystem with the support of Belgian partners. If we go further on, during the project proposal or during the initial mapping of our characteristics of Western Slovenia and Adriatic Croatia, we noticed at least two challenges. So we have to stimulate, of course, the development, research and innovation, and uptake this innovation into our ecosystems. So how to do it, the roadmaps, the plans, and so on. The second challenge we noticed was really to mobilize resources, to join together and make strategic and coordinated approach in the governments, in the Western Slovenia and Adriatic Croatian maritime innovation ecosystem. So really to strengthen and join forces together with the Belgian partners and do something in the Slovenian and Croatian ecosystem. That's why we actually provide the title of the project, which is the main focus, really to strengthen the capacity with jointly designed and implemented action that will support, of course, according to the European policy and frameworks, the digital and green transition of the maritime and connected industry. It's not only, it's the whole maritime industry, not only the ports, it's a logistic, it's a shipyards, manufacturing, SMEs companies, software solution developers, and so on, that are really involved in the maritime sector. Okay, so basically, if we represent our ecosystem, of course, according to the project proposal, we need academia, industry, societal actors, and public authorities. That's why we proposed at least one partner to cover these kind of actors and activities inside of the projects. And we as University of Ljubljana and, of course, University of Rijeka and University of Antwerp, as well as Antwerp Maritime Academy, are the, let's say, main core partners of each ecosystems, working together, as well as on the individual parts between partners inside of each ecosystem. I will not go in details here, just to see the picture, what we proposed and how we can apply and execute all the activities within the INNO2MARE projects. The most important thing is that we started with a general concept that will cover our vision and our idea for the projects. It's of course, the first one is the cross-border joint research and innovation strategy. So how to really achieve that, how to exchange stuff, how to exchange knowledge and so on, and how to make better collaboration between all 4 Helix involved partners in the projects. The second important part is where we build our story also for further activities is the research and innovation development. So the pilot projects, we will see later on, we have 3 pilot projects. And based on the developments and the results of INNO2MARE projects, we have some supporting roadmaps and activities, which is, of course, joint action and investment plan. So what we can do in terms of funding, in terms of new projects after the projects INNO2MARE, how to really use these solutions, technology developed solutions and results of the projects. And of course, we will definitely develop roadmaps for pilot projects, not only from the financial point of view, but also for the how to use it, how to use the demonstrators, how to influence the entire community for Helix principle in each ecosystems. And as I said, the Belgian partners here are quite important to transfer of best practices from the world-class maritime innovation ecosystems. So basically, we have some initial mapping of the characteristics, commonalities, and needs, what we need and what we can achieve during the project and what we can achieve also after the project. This is a 5 years period. One important thing is involvement of 4 Helix actors, which is the community engagement. So how to engage the community with all our activities, how to raise the visibility of our development results, solutions, and how to attract talents to know exactly what is the maritime sector in Slovenia and Croatia. So this is quite important part, and based on this part, we actually made some work packages, tasks, activities, what we will doing during the projects. And of course, at the beginning, we proposed 5 objectives. 5 objectives closely related to the work packages. And first important objective is to develop joint research and innovation strategy. So in order to have this characteristic of the ecosystem, have the mapping, have all the gaps, strengths and weaknesses analysis, we can then develop a joint research and innovation strategy. I will also show you where we are right now, or what are our developments. And in the final phase, we have a long-term joint research and innovation strategy. We slightly improved it during the second reporting period, which is right now. And this was also an obligation from project officer and European Commission in order to really specify some important parts, how really achieve joint research and innovation strategy. The second part is related to the knowledge gaps in maritime research and innovation through 3 pilot projects. So right now we have concepts. Those pilot projects will go from the from TRL 2-3 up to TRL 4-5, so technology readiness level. So we will have some kind of prototypes and demonstrators ready to start roadmaps for implementation and commercialization later on after the projects. But of course, we need exactly how to do it, how to implement, and how to commercialize. That's why we also ask some business support centers from the Slovenian and Croatian ecosystem, as well as use best practices from Belgian partners here. Currently, we are in the implementation phase of pilot projects and lesson learned. I will highlight this part when I actually present each pilot projects in more details. But we also have some publications, scientific articles and conferences. So if we won't have enough time also in the discussion section, I would really like to highlight that there is a website, INNO2MARE EU. You can reach these also results and documents about the pilot projects, about the strategic documents there. And you can see in more details what we achieved and what we developed. The next part is objective number 3, which means joint action and investment plan. Okay, when we have a development of pilot projects, we have to know what is the potential investment, what are the commercializations, and so on. And right now we are building a synergies with other initiatives, and we are working and in the middle of the part, let's say, in the action and investment plan and monitoring. Later on in the last year, or let's say in the end of this year, we will start with the recommendation on scalability and sustainability. So what will be the focus to sustain these activities, results later after the projects? Objective number 4, it starts right now. So to accelerate the new technologies, the usage of these technologies, and to make a roadmap for pilots. So pre-planning of the for pilots and how to use the demonstrators. So we proposed demonstrators that can be accessible in the platform website somehow. We are figuring out right now how to do it. But of course, to be accessible to other external partners under certain conditions. Of course, each leader of the pilot project should agree how to use it and what kind of use cases, demonstrators can be offered to the external partners. So we are collecting, analyzing data from all 3 work packages. So previous analysis and results. And we are starting right now to evaluating the possibilities about the pilot projects, how to implement, and starting with the action plan and roadmaps for the pre-planning and developing the demonstrators. And the last objective, of course, is enhance the level of collaboration. That means the citizen engagement, how to involve all the citizens and 4 helix actors and offer them knowledge transfer, community engagement, and skills and competence building. So we are providing different events, workshops, boot camps to really involve different peoples from different, let's say, also categories, industry, academia, social actors, as well as government, and to increase their awareness and skills and competences. So we are providing first cycle of programs, some events for the first 2 years, and now we are starting the second part for the second cycle of the program. Okay. So these are, let's say, our objectives. And the next is, okay, I will just, okay, I will shut down the microphone just to explain to you what is, what can be highlighted within the pilot project 1. So I will just highlight right now the pilot project 1, what's the main thing, the pilot project 2 and the pilot project 3. And of course, okay, of course, pilot project 1 is related to the improved fire evacuation VR model of ship engine rooms. So what is the challenge here? Okay, the challenge is here to provide improved and more realistic, albeit safer environment for onboard firefighting training. And why we are doing this? Okay, the problem is that the current VR models is that the fire is modeled rudimentary as a concentrated flame that does not spread, making users less susceptible on the stimulus. So we would like to really have a functional, improved VR model of fire spread in ship engine room. And of course, this kind of project will go through to the TRL 4 and 5. So what is we propose? It's an innovative approach, actually, with coupling VR and computational fluid dynamics model together, and that CFD can model the spread of fire and smoke so that the results can help to establish improved virtual reality environment, improve maritime education training, and advance security and safety in the maritime industry. So this is actually the main things here. And this is the usage of digital technologies. And we also assume that the comparison of results with the previous developed virtual reality models, basic models, will release, of course, the potential for future research and innovation exploitation. So we have some new opportunities, how to train people on board, how to train people on the maritime, on the ships, as well as we can also use different, not only the engine ship room, but the different rooms. We just have to model different models. And beside knowing the state of the art, of course, in the specific area, the starting point here represents the selection and design of a representative ship engine room. So you can see ship engine room here, and we can build virtual reality model of engine room. We can build also the CFD modeling of fire and smoke spread, which is improved. And we implement the CFD model inside of the virtual reality model, so that can be coupled together. And right now we have some prototypes, we have models, and we are on the phase to test and validate these improved virtual reality models. So at the end, we are trying to develop a demonstrators and user experience simulators to be used for the trainings, not for the young people, to attract people for the maritime study, for the students in the faculties, as well as for the industry partners and others to understand more in realistic way what can be benefit from this. Okay, so these are some pictures of existing and previous demonstrators and workshops, events that we perform, where participants really use this virtual reality equipment and see user experience on the fire engine room. The second pilot project is related to the digital twin with artificial intelligence for sustainable and efficient energy management. So on one side, you can see here we have a real infrastructure with a Iskra company, and Digitech also is involved to cover the digital twin part. And of course, we have a few sources, energy sources, and we have also a few loads or the consumers. I will explain this in more details in this slide. So what is the challenge? Okay, we have different energy resources, whether this is a solar panel, electrical grid, or we have a cogeneration, or we have also the battery that we can save the energy. So these are the energy sources. So we have the data about the energies provided for different energy resources that can be used in real plant. And real plant is the Iskra company and some production lines. So in the bottom part, we have real cyber-physical system. On the one side, real system, real plant, real production line. And on the other side, we have a digital twin representing physical asset of the production line, and that can be used for simulation, optimization of these processes, and of course to make real-time scenarios and to make decision what to do in the future to optimize really the processes. Right now, we have a model, we have a principles, and we have an algorithms and develop digital twins that is right now working. But there are some other small things. We are connected to the different agency to gather the information about the weather forecast, the typical parameters that can influence the solar panels and so on, and that we can also predict in advance how much energy we can generate with different resources, and then use how much energy we should use for the production lines or for the plant according to the production plan. So these are two predictions, and we can manage this in a very efficient way to really use as much as efficient energy resources and to run the production processes as much as efficient. So to use really the minimal energy as possible to execute the production plan. This is the plan. And of course, this is only the use case in Kran, in Iskra. We want to implement this use case also in the direct maritime sector to Iskra shipyard in Šibenik in Croatia for their manufacturing plant for the shipyard. The third pilot project is related to the autonomous shipping technology supported by artificial intelligence. And here we are focusing on two directions. One is the sea state estimation, and the other one is the object detection on the sea. Of course, the sea state estimation and the object detection can be observed visually by the staff, by the captains, by the different sensors, such as satellites, radars, cameras, and so on. But our focus is really to build a model for the automatic detection of small objects at the sea, and sea estimation, which means height and directions of waves, propagation, which can affect then planning the path of the ships or optimizing the parameters of ships. And we are trying to use the computer vision and to provide the necessary information really to building the deep learning, autonomous shipping and safe navigation model, which can support existing safe navigation models currently. So basically, this object detection can be distributed in several activities. Of course, we are preparing the data for different sea states based on the Beaufort scale. Then we have classification of images according to the Beaufort scale. We use convolutional neural networks as AI algorithms here. And after we have an images, we train the model. So we train the model using those data sets, test different augmentation, test and compare different sampling strategies and so on, different camera positions and setups on the ships, on the land, and so on. And of course, since we cannot observe so much images in the reality, we make image synthesis, of course, for both sea state estimation and object detection. And these synthetic images can be used for training the models, learning the models, to really get the trained models for both areas here. And of course, compared to the sea state estimation, the object detection procedure use deep neural detectors. And currently we are finalizing the model trained by generating synthetic images. These are the synth sets for small object detections. And finally, we should actually make a fine model tuning to really achieve better detection results of smaller or dimmed objects and obstacles in the sea surface. So we thought that those two approaches will really help and support existing systems on the ships. And of course, here are more in the pilot project 1 and pilot project 3 are more involved Croatian partners from University of Rijeka, from Faculty of Maritime Study, from Faculty of Informatics and Digital Technologies, and from faculties of engineering. So based on these developments and results, we would like to spread these achievements according to the accompanying measures, so to citizen engagement and knowledge transfer, as well as to disseminate and exploit these results through different channels. And it's quite important, we have some discussion on this, to use different channels for different actors, and what kind of news promotion can be done for the civil, for the government, for the industry, and so on. So here are some examples how we perform these events, workshops, boot camps, how to involve young talent people, how to transfer knowledge from the academia to industry, from industry academia to the government, how to support, how to convince them to really raise the awareness of the strategy for the maritime sector. And we are working also on the smart skills and competencies increase for the business sector, also how to achieve the business models and so on. And of course, we involve in the project the Innovation Council, which is a very important, let's say, body. They support us with different activities, also the talent attraction measures, INNO2MARE Young Female Innovation Leader Award, guide us through the development phases, what's good, what's not good, how to fill the gaps in the maritime sectors. And these Innovation Council members are from all 3 innovation ecosystems, 3 from Slovenia, 3 participants, members from Croatia, and 2 or 3 from Belgian partners. So to really observe what we are doing and if we are going on the right direction. So this is actually the ending. So we would like to really develop joint cross-border research and innovation strategy. We would like to transfer new technology solutions into the industry, into the different actors. And of course, we would like to develop roadmap for collaborations, as well as investment and roadmaps for the pilot projects, how to really commercialize and demonstrate those technologies to wider public. And the outcomes, of course, this is our long-term vision. We have a discussion yesterday with the partners also, how we can see the project after its end, and what will be the vision, how to make additional funding, whether this will be a hub or cluster or something else, and how to provide these activities later on different occasions. I would like to conclude this presentation right now and open a discussion, because we can really discuss quite a lot if you have questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Marco. That was really
George, please turn
interesting.
on your microphone. Thank you.
I have it on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We can
Okay.
hear him. Yes, we can.
Okay. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Marco, can you hear me? Marco, I think that you have muted the volume of your PC, and that's why you cannot hear me, because we were seeing the videos during the pilots.
I noted that. I noted
Okay.
that.
Okay. Good. Okay. So I was saying thank you so much. That was really interesting, exciting, I would say. That's a very hot topic, the maritime sector. It's really very important for the human activities in general worldwide nowadays, and of course there are all these imposed regulations that have been adopted by IMO and that need to be applied with a specific time schedule. So many challenges also. Yeah, I think we are ready to start our discussion. Please raise your hands or throw questions in the chat. Let me check. Okay, no questions yet in the chat. Derek, you have a question, please.
Yeah, so thank you very much for the very informative and nice presentation. It's a really nice project. And so I think we're kind of going through the same phase right now in Solar Hub, where we're trying to move from the more research activities into more of the commercialization activities. And obviously we have a lot of challenges here trying to match up the academic and the business actors. Can you talk a little bit about what's going on right now with INNO2MARE in terms of your commercialization activities?
Yeah, thank you, Derek, for this question. Yeah, currently we are providing this financial plan, and of course the commercialization is involved here, but we are still in the starting point. We have some vision and idea about this, and it could be the best idea, I think, if we sustain the activities of these projects to apply, whether to apply for the Interreg project at the end of this INNO2MARE project. This is one possibility, to make funding of this and to propose let's say a future activities, which is also related to the key exploitable results within the project. So to cover research work and commercialization on one part, and on the other part to execute all the activities we promise. So Interreg project is one thing, and we are starting right now with the policy conferences and really strong collaboration with the government and ministry, some kind of lobbying process to be part of existing clusters, to be invited also, or to be part of the existing hubs. And make some funding for our services, because we are trying to also provide some services, some demonstrators. If we, for example, look at the Chamber of Commerce or some other government bodies, we can offer them a free to access, let's say, for the demonstrators and for the technology demonstrators. And then they can support us to really just found existence of the platform, and maybe one person to run these activities, really to coordinate these activities further on. This is also a possibilities, but of course, yeah, we also have some interest from the SMEs and industry, especially when we work with example, in Slovenia, with the port of Koper, they're interested to really have an industry project. Okay, if we have an industry project to finance us in this direction, while we can support to implement those technologies in their ports in terms of digital twins, in terms of improvements in the command centers for the ships, in terms of improvements of or upgrade the ship simulators for the maritime study, faculty of maritime study, and so on. So there are a lot of possibilities, I think, that are open, but they are not fixed right now.
Thank you.
Okay. I would like to take advantage of my role a little bit and continue this question with a comment/suggestion, I would say. So I think, Marco, that you are addressing a very hot, let's say, sector that is currently in a rush or in an urgency to, meet specific requirements imposed to the sector and the industries involved in the area. So I think that you can, I wouldn't say easily exactly, but it's pretty straightforward to me that, especially through the pilots that you propose in the framework of your project, you can reach out directly to those industries and, bring some solutions. Some of them, I believe they could directly or indirectly be connected to specific targets set by the International Maritime Organization. So yeah, my suggestion would be to, have you actually considered to approach directly industrial partners and bring them, familiarize them with your pilots and see, or within the framework of this or beyond this, if you can offer, let's say, services, because you explicitly stated the capability and opportunities for services. So I think this would be a good idea.
Yeah, of course, we have this in our mind, and there are a few directions, or let's say a few activities that can support this vision. Okay, if we remain our website and upgrade this website to some kind of platform as a service for the companies, for the external users, and offer them at least the solutions and use cases and prototypes, or let's say demonstrators, what we have developed during the projects, it could be a free access. Just to demonstrate them how we can do, what will be the benefit for them, and what are the potential implementation on different sectors of the maritime, particular for the companies. And we are connected with those companies since we map our ecosystems. So we map, I think, around 150 companies from Slovenia, which are really focused on the maritime sector or somehow connected to the maritime sectors. So we have individual a discussion with them, what we do, what will be the role of these companies to be actually involved in this. They are our supporters, actually, okay? And we are willing to present these companies also abroad or to wider public through the Career Connector platform. So we developed Career Connector platform where we have companies, where we have job seekers, and where we can perform different events, whether this is for the job seekers, whether this is for the companies. And this is a two-direction communication and interconnection, and two benefits for the job seekers, for the students, talents, and so on, or for the pre-qualification of the employees or something like this. To be on this platform and to present what we are doing. So this is one thing, okay, what we have and what we can do with additional platform really to offer services, our results of the projects, not only the the videos and the models and so on, but really to have some more sophisticated maritime as a service platform. Very similar what we expect from manufacturing as a service platform, which was a hot topic 2 years ago in the Europe.
Yeah. And it still is, I think. Okay, now we are in a strange and transitory period, maybe due to the recent developments, but I think not much will change in the end, so I don't expect to.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Other questions from the audience? Perhaps from relevant stakeholders. Pinar.
Hi, Marco.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Thanks a lot for the nice presentation. So I wonder, when you were mapping the stakeholders in here, did you do some interviews with them? Like, how do they interact with each other? So did you do a network analysis as well? So if yes, so is there a paper out of it? And if yes, can we take it as an example? Sorry for the long question.
Yeah, I think there was several stages how we proceed with the mapping of the ecosystem, and in the first part, okay, we just analyzed the SMEs, the stakeholders, to find the stakeholders on the website or so on. Then we call them and ask them if they are willing to participate in our research or our analysis. This is one part. The second part is to make a really generic questions for them and to send the questionnaire to fill in those questionnaires to really get the crucial information for us. And the crucial information for us, okay, what is the area and topic within the maritime sector? What are the number of employees? Do you have a research team? How innovative you are, and so on. And do you collaborate exactly, and do you implement any solutions currently in the maritime sector? So these were main topics, I think, in the mapping. But of course, the mapping strategy can be accessible in our website, the general concept. But I think as an appendix, I'm not sure if we put all the appendix or the questionnaires and all the tables representing the results of this mapping. I think this is our internal documents. But of course, we can discuss this and we can at least, but I think the strategy and the methodology, what we can expect from the mapping, it's a public accessible document. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Then we have a question from Mira. Mira, please.
Yes. Good afternoon. Hello to everybody, and congratulations for such a really great project. So my name is Mira Lepur, and I'm coming from the Šibenik-Knin County, and of course, Iskra shipyard is there. And before I was manager of regional development agency, so I was working with many projects related also to maritime sector. But now I would like to ask you for some maybe advices, because I'm dealing with some with another sector, but also related to ecosystem and also in research and development. So I would like to ask you a little bit more about how it all started, and what kind of what is the call of proposal you applied to first? Was it Horizon Teaming for Excellence or some other calls? And so I'm interested in this first phase, which is, I think, very difficult in the beginning. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for this question. So INNO2MARE's, the Horizon Europe project within the program Horizon WIDERA. So excellence hubs, and it's a coordination and support action project, not research and innovation. And of course, the idea was from previous collaborations. We collaborate a little bit with University of Rijeka, with a lot of stakeholders in Western Slovenia, as well as University of Rijeka collaborates a lot with stakeholders from Croatian ecosystem. And one part is also that the Croatian ecosystem is quite involved in the maritime sector, and they know each other with the Belgian partners, Blue Cluster, and different initiatives and different clusters. So that was initial point. And of course, from Slovenian part, we collaborate more than 5 years before the project with Port of Koper, and know exactly what are their challenges, what we can help, and how some of technologies can be implemented also in the maritime sector. For example, we are working on the manufacturing sector with the digital twins. We have a knowledge with data analysis, with data acquisition, with different approaches for data analytics and so on, and also for the monitoring of the processes, for the real-time monitoring and prediction. And why we don't use this knowledge also in some maritime sector, because we are really not so focused on the maritime sector in the previous years, but right now we are more involved. We can help and implement those technology, as well as we upgrade the collaboration with particular government bodies on the maritime sector. This is our, let's say, benefit to also know this kind of world. And I think Professor Zelenik raised his hand, and I think he wants to add something here.
Yeah, that's right. I noticed it too. So, Professor Zelenika, if you want, please.
Oh, well, Marco
And
said more.
sorry to interrupt, Mira. If you want, you can lower your hand. Sorry.
Yeah, Marco said it, most of the things. In any case, we are part, as a University of Rijeka, part of one of these European university alliances, EUFE, Young University for the Future of Europe. And there we collaborate very closely with Antwerp. So the idea there, we had several projects common, and among others, we were developing together so-called knowledge valorization network. So our experts dealing with knowledge valorization created a network and exchanged ideas. And one of the conclusions was that we should try to find further financing means to strengthen our collaboration and so on. And in this regard, we have then looked for suitable calls, and the Excellence Hub call seemed very suitable for us. And therefore, we started with the University of Antwerp the first framework. On the other hand, we with Ljubljana are very collaborating very close in many aspects, through the Alps Adriatic Rectors Conference to the Western Balkan and Southeast Europe Rectors Forum, and so on and so forth. The rectors have regular meetings, and so then we put this as a proposal on the table, that the rectorates of the two universities agreed that this is certainly something that should be pursued together. Obviously, also the port of Rijeka and everything related to the sea in Rijeka and Koper are brothers in arms, as we would put it. They really work together and collaborate very closely. And so this was the initial team that then put up the proposal. And we were lucky that, the Faculty of Maritime, the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering of the University of Ljubljana agreed to coordinate the whole effort. And that we found Marco as the person that brought the energy, the dynamics that we need to then perform all the activities.
Thank you, Sasha.
So we are also, learning some internal stories and anyway, the storyline and the development that led you to this initiative, which is always good. Any other questions? We still have 5 minutes to go, so there is time for 1, maybe 2 questions before we close.
So can I ask a question?
Yes, sure. Please go on.
So in maritime sector, for route optimization to predictive maintenance, which AI technologies do you use? I'm wondering that.
Okay, so I would like to explain if I remember well. So it's AI technologies for the machine vision systems. So to really analyze the images of the which is the results of machine vision system. And I think we have some machine learning or deep learning methods. One was mentioned convolutional neural networks to synthesize and analyze the images. The other, I think, is I have just to remember. Just a few seconds. Yeah, transform-based classification networks also to filter the images and to prepare the images. And we also use some commercial programs to make synthetic images. So to have a commercialized tools to make virtual images and to learn based on these images. So maybe it's a good idea, okay, if you have more details on our website, because these are, let's say, really details focusing on University of Rijeka and Faculty of Maritime Study and Engineering. Maybe I suggest really this is the best way to really go on these details, how these machine learning and deep learning approaches are really used. But of course, the main details are published in the articles. So in our website, we published all the scientific articles dealing with this, all the conference papers, and there are details.
So thanks for the explanation. So you mostly say convolutional neural networks is used in order for doing some image processing in maritime sector. I'm gonna check that out, those conference papers. So can you share the link with me? And
Yeah.
thanks for enlightening me.
Yeah, I will share immediately.
We can do that in the chat, I think.
Yeah.
And Yelena, you have also raised your hand previously. Do you still want to make a quick question? We have a couple of minutes to go.
No, it's not a question. I would like to add that if you have any additional questions regarding the ecosystem building and also approaching the actors and also continuation of our cooperation with them throughout the action plan that is now being prepared in a draft version, please reach out to us and because we were preparing this mapping, and now at the action plan actually we are going to engage them even more, so we are having constant interactions with the stakeholders in Croatia and Slovenia.
Great. Shall I send you an email?
Sure.
What's your email address? I mean,
I will
can
send
try
it
to
in
find
the chat.
All right, thank you so much. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, well, you can always, all of you, check also the INNO2MARE website, because all the publications are there, or at the links to them. Most of the publications are in open access, so you can directly download them there. obviously all the deliverables which are public are also there, and so on and so forth. So again, most of the questions that you're asking can be answered just by having a look at the INNO2MARE webpage.
I put the INNO2MARE webpage on our chat, and I will also put direct links to the pilot projects if you want.
Okay, thank you, Marco. We have received it. So it's this is the end of the webinar. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you, Derek, for taking the initiative. Thank you, Marco, for the nice presentation. And thank you all for your participation. I think the very interesting and vivid discussion. So, Derek, the next one, do you want to say a few things before we close?
So in the chat, I just put the link to our Widening Impacts webpage. This has the announcement for our next webinar, which is in 2 weeks. This is from the Excellence Hub Project Carbonica, Carbon Initiative for Climate Resilient Agriculture. And this is coordinated out of Thessaloniki, Greece. And so we're looking forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks. On the webpage, we do have links to the recording from the previous webinar, as well as different additional information. So it was really nice to see everyone today, and hope to see you again in 2 weeks.